It was an eventful qualifying in Marrakesh, with a career-first Julius Bahr pole position for Felix Rosenqvist and the Mahindra team. And whilst it was a steely drive from the Swede, it was a job made much easier by Jean-Eric Vergne's no-show. A misunderstanding in the Techeetah pit saw Jev miss his slot. Given that he'd lapped a full half-second faster than Rosenqvist earlier in qualifying, it was a real opportunity missed for Techeetah. But the big story in qualifying was the 5-place penalty for Sebastian Buemi after the discovery in scrutineering that his fire extinguisher was underweight. At a shade over 98 kilometres, the Marrakesh ePrix was the longest Formula E race to date, so energy strategy would play a huge part. Like Heidfeld in Hong Kong, Rosenqvist made a scorching start. Vergne was slow away, which gave Abt an opportunity around the outside, but Piquet locked up, forcing them both wide and allowing Prost to dive down the inside. The Circuit Moulay Al Hassan in Morocco is relatively wide, with more open corners, making overtaking more attainable. And De Grassi took full advantage of this to pass Heidfeld and Robin Freitz. Once Buemi had bravely passed Abt on lap 7, we really start to see him reel in the leaders. Over the next 8 laps, race leader Rosenqvist lost just over a second and a half to Buemi. But crucially, Buemi was able to stay out 1 lap longer, meaning his 28 kilowatt hours of energy had to last him 16 laps as opposed to 17 for the Mahindra driver in the second stint. For the first 5 laps after swapping cars, Rosenqvist's average lap time was a decent 1 minute 25.328. Buemi's 5-lap average for the same period, 1 minute 24.213. With the Swiss gaining on average over a second a lap, there wasn't going to be much Rosenqvist could do, and then that lead would evaporate. But first, Buemi had to pass the Techeetah of Jev, who was running in the same powertrain. Marrakesh proved to be a race to forget for the Frenchman though, after a fault in the steering wheel killed his pit lane limiter. The ensuing drive-through penalty for speeding in the pits took Jev out of podium contention and handed Buemi a clear run at race leader Rosenqvist. In lap 21, we really see the true devastating pace of the Renault Edams cars. Sam Bird, chasing down Buemi, set his fastest lap of the race with a 1 minute 24.173, only to see Buemi post his fastest lap with a 1 minute 23.663. In a series as close as Formula E, that half a second is massive and prompted the Brit to say everyone else is racing for second place in the wake of Buemi's dominance. As the race drew to a close and right on the limit of his energy use, Rosenqvist could do nothing to fight off the challenges from Buemi or Bird as he practically coasted round the final lap, backing off by over 3 seconds compared to the cars around him, but it was still enough to claim that final spot on the podium. So Marrakesh proved to be a fascinating strategic battle, with energy management the key. Another welcome podium for Mahindra Racing in Season 3, alongside DS Virgin and Renault Edams. On the basis of Marrakesh, as has been the case almost since the first ever test, the driver they all need to beat is Buemi and his Renault Edams machine.